Namaste friends, welcome to YogaCandi. My name's Candice and today I'm bringing you a video from this beautiful location, Baristro at Ping River. So this is a really stunning little cafe that you can come visit next time you're in Chiang Mai, or if you ever come and see Chiang Mai. We're also going to put up a couple of pictures on Instagram, so feel free to have a look on YogaCandi. Today is yoga for travel, and what a better location to shoot from. So this is great for anybody who also just wants to open up their hips, but it's great if you've been sitting on a long haul flight. Maybe you've had a really long bus journey or something and you're just feeling a little achy because you've been cramped up for hours on end. So all you're going to need today is a couple of yoga blocks or a couple of books, or maybe even a cushion or something like that. We're going to start off in a nice comfortable seat, any seat of your choice. Already start to engage the core, so sit up nice and tall through the spine, roll your shoulders back and down the back. Let's just take a moment here to tune into the inner body before we even begin. Relax that space between your eyebrows and start to keep your breath nice and deep and long. Keep this breath throughout your practice today. Take one more deep breath and then start to do a couple of little neck rolls in one direction and in the other, just from shoulder to shoulder, not all the way around. Half circles will do the trick. Getting into the trapezius and down the neck muscles, which I know can start to ache for hours of sitting, or perhaps you fell asleep in a very weird position. Take a couple more in your own time. And then back to center. We're going to take our left arm over to the side of the mat and stretch out the side body. You can either come down to the forearm or stay up on the hand. We're going to stretch out the right arm, taking it up and over the ear. Try to keep your chest towards the sky. Take 3 deep breaths. And come back to center. Let's take it over to the other side. So right hand over, or you can come down to the forearms, stretch nice and deeply through the side body, chest towards the sky. Relax the neck, keep your breath nice and long. Take one more deep inhale. Exhale, come on up. We're going to come into tabletop, hands underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips. Suck in through the belly, so you're trying to lift up through the belly button, sucking it up towards your spine. We're going to take some cat-cows just to warm up the spine. So inhale, drop the belly, look up. Exhale, arch the spine, push the shoulder blades apart. Take a few more in your own time, inhaling, dropping the belly. Exhaling, arching. Take one more. And now walk your hands forward. We're coming in for puppy pose. You can always use a block to bring your forehead down to, or you can bring your forehead all the way down to the ground, just sending the tailbone up to the sky. Suck in the abdomen, keep the knees stacked with the hips. and release. Come on up, let's send it up for downward facing dog. So knees, feet and hips are in line. Your hands are around shoulder distance apart. Let's start to walk our dog, sucking in the belly. Look directly behind you, or you can even close your eyes. And don't worry if your heels are not touching the ground just yet. That will come with time. When you're ready, really push into the ground through all four corners of the hands. Push down into the heels, even if they're not touching the ground. Suck in the belly, pull the shoulder blades apart. Let's enjoy a few deep breaths here. Now inhale, lift the right leg as high as you can lift it. Don't worry if you can't lift it very high. But if you can lift it really high, open up through the leg. So you're sending the right toes down towards the left side of the mat. Lifting the knee up to the sky, opening up through the hips. Keep your shoulders squared. And then exhale, draw that knee towards your chest. Hold it just for a second. And then very slowly, we're going to bring that knee down towards the ground, opening up through the leg. So we're coming in for pigeon pose, which is a beautiful pose after a long journey. The knee is behind your right wrist and the foot is behind the left. You can always come down onto a block, so place a block or a cushion underneath the right hip. You can come up onto your fingertips. You can just stay here enjoying this pose for now. Keep your hips squared off at the front of the mat. If this is enough for you, then just be here today. If you have the flexibility, remove your block, walk that back leg a little further behind you. Staying up on the fingertips just for a moment, you should feel a little stretch down the psoas here on the left, and then also in the hip on the right. Creating a mini back bend, stretching out the tummy. Keep your shoulder blades away from the ears. Then you can always come down to your forearms and even bring your forehead all the way down to the ground, or you can use a block or something just to bring your forehead down to that block. Let's all take a few deep breaths. If you're enjoying that, just stay where you are, and only if it's in your practice. You can start playing around with lifting the back leg off of the ground, so you're pulling that foot towards your body, stretching a little deeper into that psoas muscle. Just pull it as close as you can, playing around. You can even play around with mermaid pose, tucking that foot into the shoulder, or into the elbow of the left arm, taking the right arm behind the head and interlacing the fingers. Wherever you are, take 3 deep breaths. And release. If you're down in sleeping pigeon, start to make your way up onto your hands. We're going to send our hips up and back to a plank pose. Just start to move the legs and then send it up to downward facing dog. Become still in your dog once again. You can always walk the feet if you would like to. Sucking in that belly, tailbone to the sky. Externally rotating those shoulders. On your next inhale, lift the left leg as high as you can. You can even just hold it there. If you can lift it high enough to open up through the hips, sending the left toes over towards the right side of the mat. then you can do that as well. And exhale this knee to your chest, holding the knee up towards the chest just for a moment, and then very slowly taking that knee behind the left palm this time. Remember, you can always grab your prop, pop it underneath this left hip, and stay up in a nice easy pigeon on your fingertips. Just enjoying a gentle hip opener here. Try to keep the hips squared with the front of the mat. If you have the flexibility, you can remove that block and you can come on down all the way to the forearms, perhaps even to the forehead, all the way to the ground, or place something to rest your forehead onto. Wherever you are, let's take our 3 deep breaths here. Stay there if you're happy. If you want to play around with mermaid or lifting that back foot off the ground, pulling it in towards the body, you can always play around with that. If this is not in your practice, leave it today. The flexibility will come with time. If you're playing around with mermaid, take that right foot to the elbow of the right hand. Keep your body squared with the front of the mat. And perhaps you can interlace your fingers behind your head, lifting your chest to the sky. Take a few more deep breaths, whichever pose you've chosen. Take one more deep breath, and very slowly we're going to make our way out of whichever position you were in. If you were in mermaid, gently remove the hands and then the foot down to the ground. Plant your hands shoulder distance apart, send it up to downward facing dog. Give your dog a little walk. And then jump, step or walk to the front of the mat. We're going to exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift, look up. Exhale, fold. Do this a couple more times. Bending the knees whenever you need to. And then we're going to inhale our hands up above the head, look up as they touch. Exhale the hands to the sides of the body. Inhale, hands above the head again. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Plant the hands, step back into plank. Take a really strong plank. You can always drop the knees down to the ground if you want to take an easier version. Suck up through the belly, lift up through the shoulder blades, and then exhale down to the back bend of your choice. Inhale, back bend, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Meet me there when you're ready. Take a few deep breaths in our downward facing dog. Take your knees as wide as the mat. We're going to come down for a wide-legged child's pose. Start to send your bum all the way down to your heels. You can either take your chest and chin down to the ground, extending the arms out long, or you can just take your forehead down to the ground. Keep your breath nice and deep and long. And then walk your hands up towards the body. Draw the knees together. Open up through the heels so they're wider than hip distance. You can grab a prop and sit back onto your prop. And just stay here, nice and tall through the spine in our hero pose. Counteracting those hip openers we've just done. If you can go a step further, then just open up the feet wider than hips. You can maybe sit back between the feet, hands to the legs, and just stay here nice and tall. Or maybe, just maybe, you can come down to the forearms and just stay here. Or maybe you can come all the way down to your spine. Wherever you are, just enjoy, suck in the belly and keep your breath nice and long. Take one more deep breath. Bring your hands back to your heels if you're all the way on your back. Make your way up onto your forearms and send your body back up into a seat. Let's swing our legs out long in front of us. You can even just stay here, just slapping the legs against the ground, pushing your chest forward, ears away from the body, ears away from the, shoulders away from the ears. Or you can start to lean forward for a little forward fold. Maybe you can just touch the shins, maybe the feet, maybe you can start to fold forward over the legs. Take 3 deep breaths in our forward fold. And inhale, come on up. Let's swing it back round for a nice comfortable seat, any seat of your choice. And we're going to end our practice with some lovely breaths just to tune back into the body. So sit up nice and tall through the spine, relax that space between your eyebrows. Hands on the knees or placed in your lap. Roll your shoulders back and down. Take a moment here to listen to the body and to feel the love that you've just given it. Allow your breath to turn back to its natural rhythm. Feeling the chest rise and fall as you breathe in and out. Inhale the hands above the head, touch the palms. Keep your eyes closed, but allow your face to follow up towards the palms. Exhale, hands to heart center, bow your head. I thank you for practicing with me today. Namaste. You can open your eyes. Thank you everybody, thank you for joining me on the mat. I hope this has helped to open up the hips after all those hours of just sitting, on whatever transport it was, or perhaps just in an office all day. If you have enjoyed it, give me a thumbs up so you can save it and come back to it next time. And of course, you can always find me on social media and on YogaCandi.com. All links are below in the description. Until next time, namaste everybody.